We also have been joined by Parmeet Pal Chaudhary. He's the foreign policy and political economy analyst. Thank you so much, Parmeet, for joining us. The first question that I have from you is that where is the U.S. election heading in terms of the power figure that U.S. has, and U.S. is being considered that they are controlling most of the geopolitics and the international relations when it comes to war and stability, and of course oil and the dollar. But after all these years and the changes that you have seen in US elections, where do you think it is heading and how strong is it? And after November 5 or after January 20, when we have the oath taking ceremony, where US is heading and how powerful they are going to stay?
That's a difficult question. I would say, look, the first point is that whoever becomes president will face a number of geopolitical problems. The first one, and actually the biggest and most important in the long term, will be China, because China is fundamentally unlike, it's not Russia; it won't invade places, but it is
Right.
positioning itself to become the dominant player in what we call critical and emerging technologies. So the idea there, if you talk to the Chinese, are quite open about it, that America dominated the world in their view since the 1950s because it dominated critical technologies. It was the heart of innovation globally. China now is basically saying we are going to replace them. So that battle over quantum computing, semiconductors, AI, synthetic biology, there's a long list of these technologies, which China basically says we are going to be the world leader, and automatically we will therefore replace the United States over a period of time as this happens. In addition, they happen to also be the world's largest manufacturing base, uh, and and um, and the broad view is that all we need to do is slowly undermine American presence in what we call the Indo-Pacific, and eventually all the cards will fall to China. It's a long-term view. It's not as short-term as I think I would say that Putin is, but it's there fundamentally deeply embedded in the Chinese system, and it's important to realize that consistently in the American system, especially since roughly the second Obama administration onwards, there has been no change in American recognition of this policy. I would actually say I'd even take it back to George W. Bush, who in many ways was the first to really recognize that China was what the threat that it was.
Right.
Um, One of the reasons India is reasonably confident that it does not matter who becomes president of the United States is that this China issue and this strategic technology struggle, if you wish, is something that India also fundamentally believes in. It is a strategic glue that has been consistent between India and the United States now for a number of administrations. There are areas of difference between administrations. India does not. Trump is not as enthusiastic about climate, at least at the government to government level, which is something Prime Minister Modi takes seriously. On the other hand, we've had problems with the Democrats,
Right.
lectures on civil rights and so on, which India's taken on board but really or more or less ignored. So America will come in facing that problem. It will have a number of regional issues. Obviously, West Asia, Russia, Ukraine, that war continues. Um, but there are new ones on the horizon. I think North Korea is going to be the next big challenge for another American president. North Korea is deploying troops in Ukraine. The word is that America has warned that if those troops enter Ukraine, it will that there will be a NATO response. Um, and if that is the case, then we're heading for another major crisis on the Ukraine front. Um, but on the economic side, I don't think oil is not an issue for the United States. One of the great accomplishments
Okay.
in the past 20 years is that America has become the world's largest oil producer. America is energy
But
independent.
dollars can be there has been a chat among the BRICS countries. But dollar can be a problem. There has been a chat among BRICS countries. They want to replace dollar to buy oil.
No, no, I disagree. If you know what's happening inside the BRICS, Russia and China want to replace the dollar, but Brazil and India oppose that. All they have said that we can do more trade
Right.
using each other's currencies, but that is not the same thing as replacing the dollar. That is just intercurrency trade. But keep in mind, China is the biggest trader among all of them. None of them. We don't trade much with Brazil or with so on. We don't have a currency that other countries want. Russia doesn't want rupees. We do not want renminbi. Brazil does not want renminbi. So
Right.
you end up with a situation. None of the BRICS countries actually want each other's currencies. So you can do a little bit on the margins, yes, but the fundamental idea of a BRICS currency, which is what Russia proposed, a gold-backed currency that would slowly push out the dollar, right? Because in their view, not incorrect, I think America is debasing the dollar through its massive deficits. That India and Brazil vetoed. They said we're not supporting that because we believe that will
Right.
fundamentally support China. It will not be in our interest to do so.
Don't miss out. Log on to oneindia.com for more updates.